The freedom to criticize and the freedom to speak was allowed in East Germany despite the popular claims drummed up by Western media. In fact, a cultural phenomenon of jokes, some of which I've linked in the description, were commonplace, even among the leaders of various communist parties. This is something that is shown in Austin Murphy's book The Triumph of Evil, which details his time in East Germany during its last days. Quote, after conversing with several members of the Free German Youth at a disco held by the Free German Youth, during which they repeatedly emphasized they did not want war, although I never brought up the subject, one teenager asked if I wanted to hear some good jokes. After I answered positively, I was then asked if I knew the difference between a neutron bomb and East German coffee. When I said I didn't know, he answered he didn't know either, since they both mercilessly kill people without damaging coffee cups or other objects. When I, being unaware of the poor quality of East German powdered coffee, didn't laugh, the East German asked me another question. He wanted to know the difference between the East German government's leaders and terrorists. When I said I didn't know, he answered that the terrorists have supporters. Shocked by the anti-government overtone in what I had been led by USA propaganda to believe was a police state, I didn't laugh because I wasn't sure if I understood the joke. When he explained that East German leaders were not too popular, I asked whether it was permitted to make such jokes in Germany. He laughingly said that nobody did. Then he asked me what kind of crime an East German was convicted of calling an East German leader an idiot. The Stasi roster, which numbered over 90,000, including purely administrative personnel, including cooks, medical personnel, and others who provided support services to the Stasi that were not directly related in any fashion to spying. In addition, over 10,000 of the 90,000 represented heavy armed military formations, largely trained to fight enemy infiltrators and paratroopers, and almost 10,000 others were uniformed officials directly controlling border crossings. Of the 90,000, only 14,000 were undercover agents domestically active in early 1989, and many of them were used to observe foreign diplomats and tourists, not East German citizens. Although a further 22,000 held full-time civilian positions, such as high-level offices in industry, government, or defense. But their main function was to protect the GDR from the FDR, as the FDR had been looking towards reunification ever since the split. But unless you are trying to overthrow the state or forming a group that was planning to overthrow the state, you had little to worry from the Stasi. In fact, the worst your average law-abiding citizen could face, the worst, would have to be trying to immigrate out of the country, since the GDR was already fragile, as mentioned in the first episode. I'm Redskare TV, and tomorrow's episode will be on Erich Honecker. And as always, Rot Gruß.